The Panasonic G9 is an extremely underrated camera for video. I've been using this as my A cam over the last couple months, so I figured I'd go through and share some of the video settings that I've been using on mine. First off, when going to the settings, go to the creative movie mode and set your exposure to manual. This is going to allow you to change both the shutter speed and the aperture on your own and not have the camera decide it for you. Generally, you're going to try and shoot at a shutter speed which is twice what your frame rate is. So if I'm shooting at 24 frames a second, I'll have my shutter speed set to 50. High speed video I have off and variable frame rate I have off, although I do use that occasionally. My waveform monitor is set on, although that's only going to be available if you've purchased the Vlog-L. HLG View Assist, I use this normally when I would shoot in HLG, which I was doing before I bought Vlog. Some additional movie settings that I use are the record format. I make sure that this is set to .mov because neither MP4 or AVC HD allow for 10-bit recording. My primary recording settings I use are 4K, 10-bit, and 24 frames a second. Continuous autofocus is set to off, and I shoot in Vlog-L with both sharpness and noise reduction set to -5. Before I bought Vlog-L, I shot in Hybrid Log Gamma, although it's pretty common to shoot in Cinelite D, or if you don't feel like grading, you can get nice color out of natural profile as well. I also set the stabilizer to on. That's one of the main reasons I like using this camera is because of the amazing stabilization. Ease stabilization I use off, but I like to keep my IS lock on. I have this set to a function button, which I'll go through later. Here's some of the other settings that I wanted to go through. The ISO increments I set to 1/3 exposure value. This just allows you to have a bit more control over setting your exposure. Without this turned on, you're going to be only able to increase your ISO by 1 stop, where this gives you the option of increasing by 1/3 of a stop, which can be really useful when you're shooting in different types of lighting. Extended ISO I have set on. This allows you to go a stop lower than is normally available when setting your ISO. This isn't available in the Vlog profile, but some of the other picture profiles do allow for it. I generally try not to use autofocus when I'm shooting video, but in the odd occasion that I do, I like to have the manual focus assist set to the ring so that I still have control over the focus area. My manual focus assist display I set to full rather than pip. This allows me to view on the full screen whereas I'm trying to focus. When I'm trying to focus on very fine details, this helps me nail my focus a little bit better. Another setting that's only going to be available to you if you've purchased the Vlog-L is the View Assist. This allows me to put a LUT onto what it is I'm viewing on my screen. It comes with Vlog 709, but if you've purchased the LUT, like the JH Alex LUT like I have, you can add it here. Peaking I have set on, and histogram I would normally have on if I wasn't using the waveform. Center marker I like to use as well, and my zebra patterns are set to 65%, which I use to set my skin tones, and zebra 2 is set to 80% to prevent me from overexposing the image. I also want to share some of the changes that I've made to the custom buttons on the G9. The first function button I've set to a review because I just find it a bit more convenient than the actual placement of the review button on the left hand side. The quick menu and viewfinder options I've kept the same, but I've added a stabilizer to the fourth function button, which is accessible by my right hand and I use pretty frequently. I've made quite a few more changes to the second set of options through function 11 through 19. Function 11 I set to the autofocus area, which allows me to set which part of the screen is going to come up to the display when I'm setting my focus. Other functions I've set to the joystick are the zebra, picture profiles, peaking, and my monitoring LUT, so I can toggle these on and off as I'm shooting. On the directional pad, I've set the options to adjust my picture settings, toggle my waveform monitor, as well as the level and the main grid. So thanks for checking this video out. I hope you found it to be useful. If there's anything that you think I've missed, feel free to let me know. Or if there's any other future videos that you'd like me to record, I'd be happy to do that as well.